Uncle Bitches is a universal entertainment talk show which opens its airways to divergent points of views. The opinions expressed during this program do not reflect the views of the Uncle Woo or the Uncle Woo show. The views of this show, Spill the Tea, reflect our own views and the views of our guests. We like to thank you for tuning in, and you can join in and leave comments or questions via Twitter at Team Us HLIC or Facebook on Miss New York or Ashley Dawn's personal pages. Now that that's over, it's time to spill the tea. Well, I was about to say thank you guys for tuning in for the first time. We decided to put this together as four individual females. These are my friends, of course, Yolanda Simmons,
Hello.
Ashley Dawn,
Hi.
and Bernita. That's her MF name, Lewis. And we just want to give you our opinions, some advice, our views on some of today's topics, whether it's personal life, relationships, politics, or even drug abuse. We're here as an open segment to give you that tea. So the first thing we're going to talk about is relationships, because you know all girls like to talk about relationships. So my first question would be, well, Yolanda, what's the longest relationship you've been in just years?
Oh man.
Just in years.
11.
11 years. That's crazy. You, Benita? 18. 18. You?
4, finally.
Well, I'm not even going to tell you my years because I feel like I ain't even catch up to everybody else. But I've had at least a good 3.5 one. But why do you think relationships don't work? Who wants to go first?
Why they don't work?
Why don't they work?
Well, I'll even jump in there first. You know why? Sometimes they don't work because sometimes us as women we put too much on them as men. I mean, we have to realize that in this day and age that it's documented in black and white that we are always 10 steps ahead of them, so we're waiting for them to catch up, so technically we're expecting the impossible from these niggas, you know what I'm saying?
I wish I had a whole
like they
pot.
slow. It's like hip hop in Atlanta and hip hop in PA. We're a little bit behind Atlanta. They're a little bit behind us. You know, they lifespan is like 10 years behind us. I'm not saying put up with their bullshit. I mean, but at the end of the day, understand that they slow. So I'm not saying they smart, but they slow.
When it comes to emotional stuff.
When it comes to anything, when it comes to finances, when it comes to kids, when it comes to running the household, just when it comes to business in general. Why do you think that we are women? Why do you think that we carry these kids? They're not on our level.
Okay, and that is the first visual of how you spill the tea. Okay, now what about you? What do you think? Why don't you think relationships last? She's pretty much, Renita's just saying,
pretty much made up on my mind on that.
We go too hard on them because we expect too much.
I don't think we go hard enough.
Mm.
I don't think we go hard enough. I think they expect to do the bare minimum and expect us to take the bare minimum. But it's 2015 and nigga, you gotta go hard. Like you can't put half on a bill. You got to pay the whole bill.
Yes, a whole other
You
topic.
can't just pay half. No, pay the whole bill. Get it out the way. You know what I mean? Like.
Oh, I ain't saying breastfeeding now.
Facebook, that's the stories, relationships.
But we're gonna talk about social media, but we're gonna get into social media and bills. Because definitely we need to make sure people understand the difference between real life and the fakeness. And anything on social media, if it ain't paying your bills, it's definitely the fakeness. So you gotta get like me. I'm just saying, this team must take over Thursday, so we're gonna give you everything. Now, Ashley, you married. So you're the only married woman on this panel. So I need to know, how do you feel about relationships and why you stay, and what's the reasons that y'all do stay together? Because we're going to talk about why you ain't together because you're married. So we ain't going to give you that question. So why did you get married? I just want to know.
Oh, well, we were together for, right then and there, 3 years. Right off the bat, we already had, a son. We had a daughter. Might as well just put it all in stone, get married. We loved each other.
I feel you.
We were like in love, so we were like, okay, let's do this. Let's just go ahead. Let's get married. It's been 3 years, 2 kids. Let's just figure out our shit and let's just go from there. And that's exactly what heck we did. But let me tell you, I cannot stand his insensitivity. That's so unattractive about a male. What the heck is wrong with y'all being insensitive? There ain't no reason. I'm married. I got the ring on there. So put a ring on it.
Right. So do
I can
right.
go with
I
them
mean,
all
did you
wherever
find
I
out
want
since
to
you
go.
got married
Period.
that he slacks off or that he seems lazier that you're married?
Oh yeah, he's a
Because I
female.
mean, it's like this myth that once you
Right.
get married, the
Yes.
female changes. I mean, does that work vice versa with men?
Yes, men do change, literally. I think they turn more childish, literally. When you get married,
So you just
sometimes,
have like a
like,
third, fourth kid.
he left all the single time. Like, he left every other week. The whole time we were not married. We get married and it's like I can't get him away. I just want to shoot him. Like, I'm just like, come on, serious. I'm like, how on earth do you just want to stay? You went from us breaking up a week before we got married, so now all of a sudden I can't get you away.
Well, that's another thing we talk about relationships. Is sometimes we don't take times to see where the other person is coming from. So understand where I see where you're coming from. You feel like, oh, maybe we just too overbearing and we expecting blood from a turnip. You feel like, make the turnip bleed if I needed to make it
I
bleed.
just think that gender roles and relationships need to cease. Like, I think everybody need to do their part. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the garbage needs taken
I'll
out,
never
take out the
step down
garbage.
because I am the more
If the
dominant
dishes
species.
need done, do the dishes.
As a female, I'll never step down
Gender ro-
to a gender role for a man. I'm
That's what I'm
always gonna stay
saying,
on top because
but they insist on, okay, you do the dishes, you do the laundry,
Who
you
insists
do.
on
I mean,
that?
who
I'm just
insists
saying.
on that? I mean,
I'm
you ain't
just
saying that
speaking
work
from
in every
experience, but
household.
however, I had to get that in check.
I have more about behavior. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess I'll go ahead and answer that question. Why don't relationships work? Well, I think a lot of relationships don't work these days because the era of the main chick side chick kicked in. I don't know when this became like positions became
A roll flag on a plate,
I
time out,
don't
30
understand.
second penalty.
I don't understand
They come
when.
in
Hold on, bro.
Cheering on a second.
I don't understand how people can say they're in relationships with another or they're with somebody else and they got several other people lined up or in their phones or in their inboxes. Oh my goodness. And they don't see it as being cheating. So I don't think relationships work because people don't have strict guidelines for what they feel is cheating for everybody. Because what might be cheating for me may not be cheating for you. Everything is cheating to me. I'm serious.
True, though.
Everything from you having long conversations on the phone, anything from you being in somebody's inbox, them sending you personal and private pictures, anything. Yeah, I mean anything. You being in a relationship talking about you need a Valentine's Day date.
Thank you.
That is disrespectful.
Totally.
Spill the
Oh,
tea.
yeah.
Here's the reality. If you need a Valentine's date and you in a relationship, how about you move? Back to the subjects at hand. Now, moving off of relationships slightly onto social media. Now, I believe that social media is a terror for a lot of reasons, not just because of relationships. I think it gives people a sense of worth, or they don't really value who they are because they get so many likes on a picture. Like, it bothers me that I see more butt selfies, belfies they call them, hashtag belfie if you want to look it
That's
up,
really not
than a personal selfie. I don't think there's nothing wrong with a female not exposing her body to the whole entire world. There's nothing's really that serious. I mean, if you're a model and all that good stuff, cool. If you're an upcoming model and that's the way you want to go,
Why
that's
do it on
it's not-
Facebook?
right. I'm not judging the fact that you're doing it on Facebook, but it bothers me as a 30-year-old female that if my son goes on Facebook, he might see your butt cheeks rather than you seeing you smiling or rather than you seeing doing something positive. I don't know. I don't want to see your butt cheeks. I don't want to see your butt cheeks no more. I have enough. I can turn around and look back at it. I don't need to see it on the TV. I don't need to see it on my Instagram. If I cannot see Eggplant Fridays, I don't want to see your belfies. True. T must trademark that. Now, how y'all feel about social media and the different ratchetness, the fuckery? That's the word
That's
of
the
the
word of the
day.
day.
That you
Word of the
see when you
day.
scroll into your timeline. How do you feel about all the exposure?
Jesus, help him.
It's like Jesus take the wheel and it still crashes.
Jesus, help him, Lord.
Impromptu.
I mean, it's just the fact
I
that
think
people lost respect for themselves.
integrity. There's no
Yeah.
integrity.
Where's the
There's
cool?
no morals. There's
People
no
so
Wow, no
uncool.
respect.
You know,
Morals?
everybody
What happened to morals?
threesome this and turn up like, are you serious?
I know it's a song, turn up on a Tuesday, but sometimes you should go to sleep. Sometimes you should take a nap.
Sleep.
And you should not be
turn
worried
down
about
all the
it.
time.
Turn down for what?
Turn
Turn down
down.
for them bills. Let's
Turn
talk
down for
about
them
bills. Bills. Are they a surprise to you?
No.
Why is it that people act like they don't know bills come? Like if somebody, oh Lord, they about to cut it, then you knew they was gonna cut it off a month ago.
You
It's not a surprise.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
you knew before the 10 days,
Before
you
that,
didn't
when
pay
you
the
didn't
30
pay
days
the
ago.
bill. Right.
So before they gave you the 10-day notice, you knew this. So why are you surprised? Why do you have to rush on the day of the people coming to go pay a bill? I may not say that I may have done these things in my past, but I have grown. But I have grown to realize that bills are not a surprise.
They
come
coming every month.
Every month.
Like
At the same damn
time. And they
time.
put it on, you know what the invoice is, the little invoice box of things.
And they don't
top.
wait.
No.
You can't wait to pay the bill.
So here's my thing.
Can't wait.
Here's my thing.
to pay it.
I want to know why the hell y'all still be in the Legion and y'all bills past due? I got somebody gotta tell me.
Not only do they be in the Legion, they got fresh weaves. They done spent their rent money on their outfits.
Oh my
Their shoes
goodness.
really ain't even that cute, and they done spent their electric money on that. Your kids ain't got no food. But I mean, that ain't my problem. You know what I'm saying?
That's how you
And that's
still-
where I sip my tea.
Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Ashley to spill it. How do you feel about being married and your husband having a Facebook page? Does him having a Facebook page cause you issues?
Actually, really, no, it doesn't, because he can monitor mine as just as much as I do his.
Oh,
So,
not his password.
yeah, period. That's the thing. I'm sorry, but if you're trifling up on some fucking Facebook, you're gone. Just it.
So if it wasn't for Facebook, you wouldn't know.
Oh, dude,
So
I'm
do
gonna
you?
know.
So here's the next question: How y'all do y'all think that social media took the player out of the game?
No.
No.
No,
Why
because
not?
sometimes it really does make it easier for them to go about it, though.
I mean, it makes it easier, if anything. I'm gonna tell you what I ain't gonna do. What I'm not
Snapchat.
gonna do is I'm not gonna watch you all like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But when I'm
Yeah,
bored at
definitely.
night, I might go through your phone from there. If I find something in your phone, then
You have the right to
Why
remain
something like
silent.
that?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not gonna just wake up and be like, oh, I'm gonna just go through his phone. If you acting some type of way, at first I'm gonna peep you out for about a week, maybe 3 days. Okay, that was a lot. 3 days. I'm gonna peep you out. After that, I'm in your shit.
That's how you feel?
Just a little bit. I mean, but I'm not gonna be out. I'm not gonna chase you.
Okay. So I need somebody to explain to me what Backpage is.
Oh.
If we can't talk about that right now, you tell me if I should just wait. I should get that tea at home, and then we should discuss what it is next time.
Just that.
So I'm
Oh, that's how
understanding.
serious it is.
Back page is the.
Okay, well we're gonna skip past that because that was a question from. Cause I don't know. I don't know. Maybe
It's kind of thing. I think maybe we should just pull it up one day.
just pull it up one
Okay,
day.
because from what
So
I'm
back page
understanding,
on
it's
that?
just a okay.
You somebody pull a Backpage on their phone. Somebody show me
It's
show
like
me
an
Backpage.
XXNX. I mean, like
Show me what that
everybody's
is.
grown.
Okay,
I
but
mean,
we're
it's
gonna-
not
but
I
like.
mean, true, but come on.
Okay, well
now.
we're gonna look that up, and I'm gonna visualize it since I shouldn't speak on it. 'Cause once you look at me and tell me I shouldn't speak on it, I'm not gonna speak on it. Co-parenting. So I know that we was a little bit goofy on the Facebook and the social network, but we got a couple serious things to talk about too. Co-parenting. Are you guys working together or are you working apart? I mean, I know it's a lot of single moms and a lot of single dads too. I'm not acting like I don't know several of y'all out here doing your duck fizzle for your children. But are you really working with the other parent to raise the child, or are you working just to maintain the life that you want with your child? I mean, that's a big question. I've had joint custody with my son since he was 1 year old, and sometimes I feel like we are at each other's throats. But my son happy, but I know he ain't happy with the bickering or feeling the hostility. So I've had to check myself a time or two and realize it's not about me. You know, once you have kids, it's not about you no more. Everyone wants to know why Miss New York is still in Ohio Valley because she got joint custody and she ain't going nowhere without her son. So don't ever question why I'm here, because it really ain't no question. I got a junior and he is every bit of me, and I love him. It took a lot of years for us, me and my son's father, to get where we are today. We do co-parent now. It wasn't always co-parenting. Sometimes it was co-struggling, co-fighting, co-cursing each other out. We was doing everything except for parenting together. We was still mad for whatever reasons we had, but we had to let it go. You know, we had to let it go for the best of us too, because we wanted to move on in our lives to create new lives and new relationships. And you can't do that being bitter. So if at any time you find yourself really going at it, disrespecting the person that helped you create your future, you need to check yourself, because that's your forever, whether you like it or not. You don't. It's not about loving that person. It's not about being with that person. It's about respecting that person enough that you know you got a solid person there ready to help and raise your child. See, that's what people forget. At the end of the day, no matter what that person did to you, that's always going to be a parent, and you got to be a parent at all times. It took me a long time to figure it out. I'm 30 now. I was 20 when I had my son, so it took years. How do y'all feel about co-parenting?
Co-parenting is definitely hard.
What's your biggest struggle?
My biggest struggle is discipline.
What you mean? This like
When
y'all
you-
got different tactics?
He is very passive, and I'm very authoritative. Like, you are going to listen to what I got to say, and you gonna respect me. Like,
You
period,
gonna
point
you
blank.
gonna mind me?
You gonna respect me.
I don't see
You
nothing
you
wrong
gonna
with that.
respect. You know what I mean? Like, and either I'm gonna whoop you, yes. I'm gonna stay.
So you believe in corporal punishment?
I believe in corporal
Man,
punishment.
I
Do you
believe
believe in
in it.
corporal
I will, you
punishment?
will
I
get
believe
these hands.
in corporal, but the Bible says, "Spare the rod and spoil the
You
child."
will get these hands. Like, it was like a simple post on Facebook the other day, like you were arguing with your kid and your kid hit you back. What would you do? Call the morgue? What do you mean?
Hashtag don't kill your children.
If
Hashtag
you
do
put your
not kill
hands
your
on me,
children.
Houston, we got a problem. The astronauts
Yes.
need to come
I
down.
agree.
You know, I'm gonna need Barack to shut down. Everything can come across, you know, like he do on the low post. You know, I'm gonna need a meme, you know, a meme. Yeah, you raise up on me. You gonna get these hands.
Hashtag there's no more tea to spill for her. She got that one. So what about you? Well, I know. Well, shoot. I mean, I have to ask you because everybody else wants to know. I'm asking y'all like y'all know I know, but ask me. Do you think that timeout is good enough for your kids? Do you think a timeout is enough to let your kids know what you're trying to get across?
No.
You're right.
Literally, no, there's just no other way.
That
Time
means
out, they can just go ahead, they can sit in timeout, know that they're just gonna go ahead, get out of it anyway. That's just it. They know that they're gonna go ahead and play for the next couple of minutes.
They
I'm
know
gonna say
they
I'm gonna
timed
say
out
this.
right
I'm gonna
there.
say this. Now, my son don't have to get whoopings no more. I'm no, I'm just I'm
thing,
what I'm
but
saying.
no more.
But no, and that's on G though. Like for a long time, I was raised right. You know, however I chose to live. I'm serious. I was raised right.
for a long
However I
time.
choose to live my life in between them years is how I choose to live them. But if you speak to my son, he is yes sir, no ma'am,
That's
can I
how
please
he
and
is.
thank
He's a
you,
good boy.
open your door for you, what do you need anything, like he's humble and he's respectful. See the problem is I think people don't teach their kids humility. There's nothing wrong with your kid being spoiled. My son's spoiled, he get everything he asked for, everything he want, and he get it twice because he got 2 homes. So he has everything twice. But it doesn't make him hold his nose up and think he's better than people or not offer to share or to utilize or to be a free spirit. He's not feeling like he's better than nobody because he's not raised to think that material stuff matters. Do we think that our kids live off of materialization? Like, do you think that kids now just they praise the phone because that gets them
Yeah.
to social media?
Yes.
They praise the TV because they
Games,
watch
it
certain
doesn't even praise
things.
them because it gets them to
Beats.
those things. It praise him because of the cost and what they think that stars or older people carry. You know what I mean?
Right.
So really, it's not the things that they can get on because I mean, whether they got a Cricket or whether they got an iPhone, it works the same.
Don't you know it?
You know, like me, I wouldn't buy another pair of Jordans to save my life, but I mean, I'm not about to put $150 shoe on your foot when I can put that on a light bill, you know, towards my water bill.
Nah, I can't.
See,
Now,
now
I'm
I
gonna
am
tell you,
guilty
me
of the
personally,
Jordans.
I'm just gonna say this. My son wear 8.5 in men. I don't care what type of shoe I get him. It's gonna be expensive. So it being that he wears only a half a size small, yes, I wear a 9 in men. You can go ahead and send any Nikes or Griffins or Bo Jacksons to my house. I like blue, green, purple, and red. Thank you. But back to the story at hand. He wears my size shoe. This ain't
Did
what
you
to send the
just go on
gift
an
out.
eBay campaign?
I did go on an eBay campaign, and I like sponsors too. Like, oh, my some sponsorship, Rose. But now that he wears my size shoe, it's not a game. It's not even a question of whether or not he's gonna get them because my son does play sports. My son is very active, and he runs through shoes that are not built right for his big old feet at his 10-year-old, 11-year-old age. He's a kid. Yes, he tears stuff up, but I mean, yeah, I'll buy the Jordans. I mean, that's for I don't know. We just got to that, but yeah, I'll buy the Jordans. Does he have other type of shoes? Sure do. He got hush puppy moccasins, slide-ons, all types of stuff he got. But will I go out and spend the 150? I sure will, cause I go spend 150 on myself. It's just that
I
simple.
wouldn't spend it on me either.
Oh, I
Not
feel
from
you.
Jordan.
I mean, Griffey.
Okay, I
Shout out
might
to
do that.
Griffey,
I
you know,
might
love
do
you,
that.
boo.
I mean, I ain't never said I wouldn't buy a Griffey shoe. Now I said I wouldn't buy a Jordan.
Shout out.
And I mean, it's just the point of name brand in general. Like, I feel like in a sense, if more schools had uniforms in place in school, that it would take down a lot of jealousy amongst our young women in school. You know, like it's one thing having to go to school and being pretty, being light skinned, or having good hair. Those are the things that they say that people are jealous that they fight about. Well, I mean, okay, you already got to deal with that. Now, if you have all those things, you dress nice, you look nice, really that's not your fault. But I mean, that's one other thing to add on to everybody else messing with you every single day. I mean, dress them all alike and send them out into the world.
Alright, I feel you. So this is how we get in our subject of bullying and what do we think incites bullying amongst today's youth. Do we think that bullying is all about fashion these days or do we think it's about status? Or the feeling of thinking you have a status quo at a young
Definitely
age?
thinking you got a status.
Because when I was younger, I got picked on for dressing. Like, that's a whole different form, though. Like, because I was the only girl. My mama had two boys, and my grandma was raising me anyway, so you can only imagine all the very nice tweed and twill suits and very tight, very, very tight bangs that I had rocked. that I rocked when I was younger. But I got picked on because I was, always bigger than everybody. Always the tallest in the classroom. I was staying. I mean, that's just what it was. But that stuff made me. That stuff made me realize that I was gonna have to accept me for me, and it make a difference what nobody says. So bullying for me was different. And being raised in New York City, I mean, way more students, way more options, but way more options for you to be different. So when I had an option to dress like everybody else, I didn't. I wasn't the kid that wore pennies going to junior high school and got Grant Hills and the new kicks that came out every other. That was not me. That's not how the world worked. But I knew that when I looked good, I looked good. But I looked good because I felt good. It wasn't about what I had on. So I think today it's like who kids think they are that make them feel like they can bully. Cause most kids dress all types of crazy ways these days. It's not even about the J's. And well, it can be, but it's not. It's about who's the sexiest, who's the cutest.
Sometimes, because I mean, look at Facebook. Sometimes, I mean, your kid dress real nice, but I mean, I'm gonna be real with some of y'all. Just because your kid dress cute, that don't make your child cute.
Oh, did she just do that?
She did.
I mean,
She
that's just what it is. I mean, and then sometimes it's the ugliest ones that got the ugliest attitude. I mean, you can't afford to be that ugly. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a limit to what people is gonna take from you. Okay, you already got that strike against you. You dress cute, so you think that it's okay to dog out somebody else's kid. That's not what it is.
Hashtag you not cute enough to be that ugly. I'm gonna make sure that's a definite hat. That's how you spill the tea on that. What you think about bullying? Cause she lives in the Aliquippa area, so you live in the Willing area, and your kid's too little for school. So what do you feel about bullying and how it affects your two daughters?
I mean, my girls really. Bullying to me is a learned behavior. I think you have to learn to bully people. I think people that are put in environments to, just like race and being prejudiced, you know what I mean? That's not something that you just come out and be like, I don't like black people or I don't like white people. That's something that is learned. I mean, some kids may bully others because they don't have nice things, you know what I mean? Just as well as the kids that bully that do have nice things, there's some kids that don't have nice things and bully because they don't have the nice things.
Yeah.
But once again, I think it's just all learned behavior, and I think that, you know what I mean, sometimes kids just gotta stand up for themselves and keep it moving. You know what I mean? Like,
I do.
It ain't that serious. Like, you know what I mean? Like, grow up, cause
Yes.
that's gonna be the least of your problems when you get into the real
because
world.
when you get in the real world, those bills is gonna bully you. That's being
There's
bullied.
gonna be people on your job that's gonna bully you. There's gonna be people that you in school that's gonna bully you. You know what I'm saying? In college that's gonna bully you.
Life is
Yeah,
gonna
life
bully
in
you.
general. So I just think, you know what I'm saying? Just
You think kids is soft?
I think some of them are.
You think these kids is soft?
I think
You think
they
they
are.
raising punk ass kids these days?
Some of them, I think.
No, I'm just,
You
I'm
win
seriously
some,
though.
you lose some. But if you hit me, it's like this. If y'all just having words, go ahead, have words. You can have words all day long. But if they get in there with your personal space, I mean, you can smell their breath, or you can lift your hand and you touch them, then get them hands. I mean, you gonna win some, you lose some, but don't be scared to do it. I mean, you're not gonna win every fight. If somebody like, oh, you lost, okay, but I'll fight back. I mean, I would be a bigger loser if I didn't.
Right.
But what you're not gonna do is be in my space and think that we are alright with it.
Right.
But I mean, we having words. Go ahead and spill your tea, cause I'm gonna spill mine. You know, we can go all day. Just don't touch me. Or mine.
Don't touch me or mine. Okay. So, were you ever bullied as a child?
Yes, a lot.
Why?
The overweight issue, yeah, that was at hand.
I was never over. See, one thing, I don't think
Yeah.
I was ever overweight. I think I was just bigger than everybody else weight. Why does that
Mhm.
make me overweight? This is my
Yeah.
perfect
Well,
size
Too
for me.
skinny.
For me,
call
they didn't
Bonnie
really
Lynn.
understand. At the time, they were trying to diagnose me for some stuff, and I was trying out different medicines. At that time, I was just kind of growing. Like, my medicines were just making me hungry and the whole nine, so I acted out as a kid on it. And, I mean, they were still testing me. So, I just kept growing and growing, and, you know, me people just didn't understand, hey, this is honestly what's going on with me. I mean, you don't even know my background, you know, what's going on in my life, why the heck am I this size at this point in time. So, it wasn't like I didn't have nothing, but it was just the whole overweight issue at the same exact time, you know what I mean, trying to learn what was going on with me.
Right.
So, and then I would just watch other kids as is. There were some kids that were skinny, that were just getting picked on, their hair would look greasy in the back, you know what I mean? But they were truly good people underneath of it all, if they would just took time to figure it all out.
Right.
I mean, I can remember ginger children, they would call them half the time. You remember the gingers and the freckles and
Oh, like redheaded people?
yeah, that would just be like one of the other things. If they were short and scrawny, they would just sit there and pick on them. I'm just like, there was just so many types of people that they would just go after. But their parents, of course, would just not, I don't know, kind of take control of it all. But when I sit here and I look on social media today, there's like 13-year-olds that have Facebook. They're up there, shorts on, as short as heck. I mean, it's inappropriate, literally. Plain and simple, inappropriate. Dress your children. I don't care. I don't want to see no twat when they bend over. That's it. Do not want to see no twat. Don't want to see no booty hoo. No. Do not want to see it. I was trying to be as polite as possible.
You got it.
That's it.
We're gonna touch on a couple more topics. I would say let's lighten the mood, but let's not, because this is where the tea at the bottom of the pot, and it gets real deep. Drug addiction. How many of us at this table have been personally affected from, whether it's from birth or your friends or your parents, how many are affected by drug abuse?
Everybody.
Do you think that drug abuse is something that you can combat personally in your world? Like, do you think it's something that you can make a difference in?
No.
Do you? Do you?
No, not really. Only because people are going to do their own thing. I can personally probably do it. Put your mind to anything if you
Right.
want to do it. But people just, they beg too much. Personal experience, I do have a neighbor. I'm going to say it. I'm sorry. But she's my personal freaking experience. I will never ever grow up like her. That bitch is like fucking 30, 50, fun. Oh, she's like 1,000, okay? Let's just say that. She's like about 1,000 years old. And for some reason, she does not have any of her kids. She's still bumming. She's still doing her own goddamn thing. I want my kids back.
You ain't spilled the tea. You dropped the whole damn
The pot. Where'd the pot go?
I want my kids.
Is the pot gone?
It's gone.
No,
Oh,
I want my
oh,
kids,
kettle.
man.
You see the pot anywhere? I don't see no pot.
I want my kids. I'm sorry.
Don't smell it brewing.
I ain't no more tea brewing.
The baby said it was green
Right.
tea out there.
I'm just gonna say this. Addiction is real. Like, I know that I just responded with a smile on my face. This is something I know for a fact. Addiction can be one of many things, but one of the worst addictions I've seen is drug addiction.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hands down, hands on, I've seen it. It's ugly. It's ugly from birth. It's ugly when people are selling their food stamps, not feeding their kids. It's ugly when people ain't got no more teeth. It's ugly when their faces sink in. It's ugly. It's an ugly job. It's an ugly business. It's an ugly game. And it ain't for everybody. That's why they make sidewalks to keep y'all out the streets. Hashtag, they make sidewalks to keep you out the streets. Because it's not for everybody. It really, the streets is for nobody. That's why they make highways and airplanes. And you got boats for rivers. Because there's plenty of places you can be and get to without you being in the streets.
There is an epidemic in this valley. But there's nothing to do in this valley.
That's why it's an
everybody
epidemic.
has
It's an
turned.
epidemic everywhere.
I mean,
Drugs
and it is. I
like-
mean, heroin hit the streets like in the 70s. These kids is
But they
dying.
changed. Hold on, they
mean,
changed.
But
Mm,
they
don't
are
talk
in love. You know what I mean? Like it's like they have a relationship with their addiction. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
they
it's like it's constant.
from getting it to tying herself off to injecting it.
Well, let's keep it funky. How about from going to the doctor and getting a prescription? Because if you really want to talk about what's going on in this valley as far as drug abuse, yeah, heroin is there and the crack cocaine is
I mean,
there
I've
and that's
seen people
there.
literally take their own teeth out to go to the hospital so they can get them some pills.
Listen,
are you
like,
serious?
Prescriptions are a big problem in this valley, whether they're legal or illegal.
I mean, the doctors is the new dope boys.
They've been the dope
They've
people.
been the
I
dope
mean,
boys. I mean, shoot, and you're
There's under the rug though.
No, that's not,
Under the
no,
rug.
it's on top of the rug. You
No,
see
it
the
is.
commercials? You turn on the TV, I guarantee you, if you watch TV for 2 hours, anybody can try this at home. Watch TV for 2 hours. And when the commercials come on, you count how many different times they try to convince yourself that you are depressed and need a pill that will not only may or may not help you with the problem you have, but then give you 6 other side effects or symptoms from something else.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
true.
tell me that they're under the rug. No, it's directly in your face. They want you to be on a pill.
So what about medical
Because the
marijuana?
doctors are the drug dealers for the government.
Listen, medical marijuana
Recreational.
was released because they knew they was about to start having these people that own these prisons, own these farms, and start selling this weed. Now let's keep it funky. Because people that's owning these farms, that's doing this, is not no regular run-of-the-mill, me and you type of people. No, they're not. So don't convince yourself that this is a me and you corporation. We make him work in the store, but we ain't got that farm for all of that. We got them
No.
acres.
No.
I would like my acres with some of that on it. Can I get 10 of my 40 acres and a business license, please? Because that's the only way I'm gonna fool with anybody on these streets.
I ain't gonna even ask for a meal.
I like to give a special shout out to my homegirl, Tylon. That's my boo. That's my boo. And she is very supportive with her young self. And next time that I do air on, we will have a kitty corner topic where she gets to answer the same questions or the same topics and with her own mindset and views from a child's point of view so that we as adults can get another perspective. Because sometimes we don't see it from the bottom up. Because the kids are the ones that start from the bottom and we here.
Right.
Hashtag a child shall lead them. So just know that will be coming soon as well. So don't be ashamed to ask your kids some questions they might want to figure out or something that your kids ask you and you don't want to answer. I'll be happy to. Before we leave tonight, we want to get into politics. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Y'all know how I feel about my president. You know, I don't want to have to go in about these people.
Yeah, everybody mad because he ain't go to that unity march.
I mean, I
But
don't care
this
what he
is the
did and
thing.
didn't do. I'm
Who's
tired of
everybody
being
else
all
not
over
And when
my
I
president.
remember, when
United in
nobody
New
come to
City,
New
I can
York,
tell you they did
ain't
it because I
nobody
was
do no
there.
march.
They wasn't marching. They get bombed and everybody got to come together over there. What if they had decided to bomb again?
Everybody won't be.
Let me
Oh,
say
shoot
this
it
to
up.
y'all.
What?
Y'all gonna stop getting it twisted with my president, yo.
Listen.
Man, everybody talk about what our president has and has not done, why they not on his team, why they not this, why they not that. Look, he did the best that he could do with what they let him do. Period. The end
Hashtag,
hashtag.
Our president is black.
And he did it twice.
Oh, and hashtag, and I won both of them. Because when he looked over and, because at first I thought he was going to let it slide. Oh, so,
Did you see the laugh?
hashtag SOTU, straight up, State of the Union Address. This is what we talking about right now. I love to see people speak with conviction. So anytime somebody's up there, whether it's my president or anybody else, and Senate people, I want to sit here and believe that you believe yourself when you speak. Because whether you telling me the truth, if it's your truth, you're speaking the truth.
To yourself.
To yourself. But when he was speaking and they applauded, oh, this is my last term, I know. Because I want to vote.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Go in the city. I mean, did you actually see the look on his face?
Like,
Oh,
Speaker of the House. He was
but I want to
upset.
vote.
John Boner, is that his name?
The one that was in background, he had the
Yeah,
guy
the
face.
red
I mean,
face.
but did you see Barack's boy in the background? Like this boy, the guy, he was with the bullshit. He was like, he was like, look.
You know he wanted to jump up. Listen,
And
by the
anything
way,
that comes
he
to
almost
mind,
jump
was
up.
like, that's my nigga, but he was, he was so scared, like he didn't move. But I mean, like that was real sexy, Barack. And if Michelle wasn't there,
Barack
Michelle,
is
I'd be on your
sexy,
boo.
though.
I would
Oh,
definitely be on your boo. I'm gonna spill the tea with that. Keep
He
being
is
locking,
handsome.
keep him, yeah. Because I
Hashtag,
definitely would be in the Oval
she want the
Office.
president too.
He's handsome.
Yes, he is a handsome
Okay.
young man. Curve.
Michelle Obama, I don't even approve the messages that it said. Don't pay no attention. You can go over there eating your vegetables and raising them beautiful girls, okay? Thanks.
Beautiful they are.
Okay. Well, let's get into something that I know my sister want to get into so bad. Hey, when we was talking about relationships, I kind of try to veer away from this. I did talk about the main chick, side chick epidemic. But let's talk about the children that come in from the main chick and the side chick epidemic. I know a lot of kids that's cousins and sisters and brothers. You know where that come from? Lack of self-respect and dignity. It has nothing to do with sex, man. And I'm going to explain to you why it has nothing to do with sex. It's in your mind that it's okay to lay behind people that you love or people that love you. It's a mental thing that makes it acceptable to you, or if you even think it's okay. Like, you have to love yourself more than to put yourself or your children or your body or your family into embarrassing, selfish, and all the way together wrong situations. How do you feel about cousin, brother, sister, babies?
You know what? I got a situation that is so personal. I mean, it doesn't even have to do with me. I have a family member, who's married. They've been married since being high school sweethearts and whatnot. And she has a brother who has a baby with a girl. Well, the girl was homeless and she needed to move in with them. And needless to say, now she has a baby by the husband in which she was living with. So personally, I think that's just real fucked up. And sometimes you get what you ask for as a side chick baby mom. I mean, I'm not saying that it's right for anybody to mistreat a child, but what did you think was going to happen in a situation like that?
Right, so like you brought your child to a situation.
You brought your child into a situation that you weren't even unsure, that you
right,
weren't
it was
sure
a
about.
no-win.
So I mean, to each their own. You do what you do, but never think that it's okay to interfere in someone else's household and think that it's okay. I mean, karma.
Oh, did you say that? Karma is hashtag karma. If you have any good memories of when you watched karma come back around and bite somebody, feel free to hashtag or at me or tag me on Facebook and tell me about when you watched karma come back and bite somebody in the behind. Yolanda, how you feel about Ferguson?
Oh, they said they're not gonna. No federal charges will be brought against the police officer in the Ferguson trial.
You right?
No civil rights charges. I think that's kind of messed up. But once again, I think this was a country that was supposed to be for white people, by white people. No offense, we're very mama white, but these laws don't apply to us. In 1776, the Declaration of Independence was signed, but we wasn't free until 1865. So these laws don't apply to us. So,
but hold on, but they do apply because we don't abide by the laws.
The only
don't apply
right
to
that a
us.
black man has that I see is the right not to defend himself.
Oh,
Every time a black man defends himself, he ends up dead. That's the only right a black man has is not to defend himself.
Hashtag, do we have rights?
No.
Or
No.
nah?
We still fighting.
Personally, I don't
Jim
think
Crow.
that
Go
do.
on. Go ahead.
Because, okay, like let's say, like, they try to say that he went up and attacked the police officer. Really, I don't believe that. I really don't. I really feel like he was just kind of running. The officer kind of honestly didn't want to chase after him. That's the way I just feel about it. I don't even feel like there was maybe like a conflict inside the car, even though he said there
it's all
was.
made up and he just
Yeah.
needed to do it. See,
I really just don't feel like that. I feel like he just kind of got shot for no reason.
He did get shot for no reason.
Everything, everywhere. Y'all got cameras, but you don't have cameras of him in the car.
Even when they did have a camera, look at Eric guy, Eric Gardner in New York. They had the camera.
Right.
No
I've
indictment
never
was
thought
brought
that I
down.
would see anytime I've ever seen a murder when I was on TV, I was watching a movie, and I don't think that everybody else realized we was watching a live murder on broadcast network on YouTube. Does anybody else realize we watched murder happen in front of our eyes when that happened? Not someone being shot laying on the ground. I'm not saying that's any. We watched someone murder someone else.
I mean, they were
Period.
legal hired killers.
So this is what to wrap all this up. I know that this is our first time doing this, so we were just a little bit loose with it. Guarantee that we like to keep it as real as possible. Just some focus points on these little index cards. I mean, no way that we were scripted, but just to make sure that we're all on the same page. We do appreciate you tuning in. Feel free to leave any comments, suggestions, advice. You know, you can be rude, smug. We don't mind. We'll take it because we spill the tea. You can spill the tea too. You got a full cup. Don't mind. Worry about it. So you have a great night, and until next time, stay up. Team us.